What's good, YouTube? Today we're watching Convicts attacking the judge in court. We're actually watching this live on twitch.tv/clouzza. So if you're like watching this on YouTube, come to the streams, twitch.tv/clouzza. And yo, let's get into it, bro. Is this the one? These are crash outs.
Go now.
No. This is gonna be juicy.
This is Deobra Redden, who's facing charges for attempted battery in Nevada. 30-year-old Redden was arrested after he allegedly attacked a man with a baseball bat. He pleaded guilty and faced a possible sentence of
Why are you beating someone down with a baseball bat and you got caught?
1 to 4 years in prison. At his sentencing, Redden had a calm and matter-of-fact exchange with Clark County District Judge Mary Kay Holthus.
Hey, Mary.
Based on my criminal history, like I feel that like I shouldn't be like sent to prison for a second time.
Have you looked at your criminal history? Have you looked at your criminal
It's like
history?
crazy.
Actually, just I looked at it.
I mean, you lived it, I
I
suppose.
just looked at it.
Yeah.
Judge Holthus then reminded Redden of his criminal history.
You know,
3 felonies, a gross, 9 misdemeanors, multiple DVs.
I don't know the difference between a felony and a misdemeanor, but I'm assuming that they're both. I know they're both bad. What's a DVS? Yo, someone in chat or comments, tell me what that is. 9 misdemeanors? I feel like that's kind of crazy. That's like 12. Yikes, bro. Bro said his history wasn't that bad.
Sir.
yeah. I just figured like
Battery on a protected person, robberies, attempt home invasion.
Redden, who struggled with mental health issues like
I shouldn't be
schizophrenia
laughing.
and bipolar disorder, tried to convince the judge that he deserved a second chance.
I feel like
Yeah,
I
real.
shouldn't be sent
He has
to
issues.
prison, but it's appropriate for you. Then
But, like-
you have to do what you have to do. But I figured that
Felony is
I-
worse?
I'm in a better place in my life. I'm not doing drugs. I'm not, I'm not out there committing crimes now, and I feel like I should be given a shot because I'm in a better place than I was.
But Judge Holthus was having none of it.
I appreciate that, but I think it's time that he gets a taste of something else because
Oh.
I just can't with that history.
This is when things got crazy.
Bro just went on a whole rant about, I'm sorry, I'm a better place, I'm a better man, and then yeets himself over the thing at the judge. Bro is cooked. Bro thought he had 12, now he has 13.
Redden launched over the courtroom bench and headed straight for Judge Holthus.
Oh, nah.
Eventually, deputies were able to restrain him.
Why did it take him so long? Wait, this was this year. Oh, no. Is he like fighting him?
Alarms went off in the courtroom. People started to call for help.
That's affirmative medical is requested. Judge's chambers.
Yeah, be advised.
Someone lost a job,
He's got
bro.
a big laceration to his head. Judge put her head into the wall, and I got an inmate that's bleeding up here.
It's going to be a positive transport to UMC for the marshal.
Be advised, I'm also going to need a biohazard cleanup for a lot of blood on the floor.
It was later found that Redden allegedly punched Judge Holthus and pulled out parts of her hair. One marshal had to be hospitalized and needed 25 stitches after suffering a forehead injury, as well as a dislocated
It didn't even look that bad from the jump, bro. I did not think it was like they actually got like beaten down, bro. That's insane. Bro just went on a whole tangent about, hey, I'm sorry, JK. 30-year-old man. And just went.
shoulder. A few days later, Redden was seen in court again, heavily shackled and wearing a
Oh,
spit
no.
mask for the sentencing of his initial assault case.
Good morning. All right, this is on for the continuation of Mr. Redden's sentencing.
It's the same judge?
I want to make it clear that I am not changing or modifying the sentence I was in the process of imposing last week before I was interrupted by defendant's actions. All right, that being said, in accordance with the laws of the state of Nevada, this court does now sentence you in addition to the $25 administrative assessment fee.
$25? Wait, they charge you fees to go to jail? I've never been in jail. $25, $150 DNA fee. What's a $3 DNA administrative, bro? What's $3, bro? Y'all taxing.
$150 DNA fee, the $3 DNA administrative assessment fee, and $250 indigent defense fee, 19 to 48 months in the Nevada
That's $500.
Department of Corrections.
Additionally, he faced 13 new charges for the attack on Judge Holthus, including attempted murder, battery, and extortion by threat. If convicted,
he's
Redden
cooked.
could spend decades in prison. Diabra Redden is a prime example of a convict acting crazy in court.
Crash out.
However, whatever a man can do, a woman can do better. Like in the case of Melissa Hardwick, who was in Russell and Wayne County Family Court in Kentucky for a domestic violence hearing. Melissa's ex-husband had filed a domestic violence order against her.
Really?
In your petition as part of your testimony, but I need you to tell me briefly, in your own words, what happened to cause you to ask for a domestic violence order.
Yes, Your Honor.
Oh,
Things
I
have
see.
been escalating, I guess, since the first of the year. And
Move my camera.
Melissa's had a couple MIWs and a couple arrests. And she got out of jail in, I guess, April. And she started...
Imagine like you're a wife going to jail and has all these charges, bro. But like you're married to him. What do you do? Like, what would you do? Like, I'm scared to go to jail. I heard they touch your butt there, bro. I don't want to get my butt touched. That keeps me out of trouble. You feel me? That's all you have to tell me. They're gonna touch my butt? I'm a law-abiding Samaritan citizen.
we hadn't really had anything personal up until that point. She got out of jail in April.
He was explaining the situation when suddenly Melissa erupted.
She started...
My personal life is
No, no, no.
your business, John. It
Yeah.
has nothing to do with
Miss
you
Hardwick?
boys. No.
You will be held in contempt of this court if you
I
become
don't
disruptive.
care. I haven't done anything to this court. Haven't done anything to
Okay.
him.
She will be arrested for contempt
It
of
doesn't
court.
make any difference.
You will serve 10 days for contempt of court.
10 days
She
just for
was
talking?
arrested for contempt and sentenced to 10 days in jail. This is when things got crazy.
Go now.
Okay, bro. How did she not, like, I guess she was looking down, but like, how did you not see her like coming up about to jump you? They were quick. Like with the other guy, bro, the black guy, bro, he just yeeted himself over, no problems, no questions. He got that quick. This is crazy.
Melissa
Like, look, she
leapfrogged
wasn't looking.
towards the judge, but thankfully, court deputies stopped her just in time.
What's the point of
However,
doing this?
That did not stop her verbal threats.
Wait and see.
Oh, no.
Get my bracelet off the floor.
Melissa faced additional criminal charges for her antics.
A new judge will have to be appointed to represent because she will be charged criminally for the threats that were made in open court today.
Eventually, Melissa was sentenced to 120 days in prison for her outburst.
That's it?
While Melissa Hardwick got off easy for her antics.
Wait, what? So she jumps onto the judge. Well, okay, nothing happens. The other guy actually like took someone to the hospital. Okay, I get it.
In court,
I
how
won't
does it
complain.
compare to spitting on a judge? Like in the case of 30-year-old Bass Webb, who's in
spits on her?
court on attempted murder charges. CCTV footage outside a Kentucky jail showed Webb, a former inmate who spent 3 months there on assault charges, intentionally hitting 2 prison workers with his car. While one guy managed to dodge it, the other was not so lucky. Webb was arrested and
Why?
produced in court before Judge Vanessa Dixon.
So you go to jail for 30 days, or 120 days, whatever he was in there for 3 months. You get out, 90 days. You get out and you try to hit people, and you're like, what's the thought process with that? Because you know you're going to get caught. You know you're going to get punched. It's 2024, bro. They have cameras everywhere. I don't understand, bro. I'm blown.
Since she knew the 2 jail employees beforehand, Judge
Oh,
Dixon
they're
decided to
employees.
recuse herself from the case.
There's no way I'm going to try this case or have any further proceedings, or I have to see you for one further second.
But what Webb did next shocked the whole courtroom.
He should be in jail.
Come here next week.
You
Webb
see his
literally
lawyer?
spat on Judge Dixon, clearly taking her by surprise. After initially dismissing him, Judge Dixon brought Webb back, charged him, and threw him out of the courtroom. Nevertheless, this is not the end of Webb's defiance of the law.
Some people don't have money and have debit shit they can get away with. That's true. Jail might be better for some people. That's a good point. That's a good point. Yo, Ugo's back at my chat. What up, gangy? I don't even have like. Oops. There we go. My bad.
While awaiting trial, Webb started a riot with other inmates inside the Fayette County Detention Center. Webb was shot with beanbag bullets and even hit in the neck with a
What's a beanbag bullet?
pepper ball.
Oh, he stands on business. Bro is not moving.
In retaliation, Webb swung a metal telephone box at a corrections officer. He was charged again for his actions and sentenced to 15 years in prison.
Is it worth it?
The jury's recommendation of 5 years on count 1, enhanced to 15 years pursuant to the persistent felony offender's first degree.
Additionally, Webb was convicted of attempting to murder the 2 jail employees and got an additional 37 years, facing a total of 52 years of prison time.
52 years, bro. Is it even worth it at that point? Your life is done. 52 years. No.
During this time, new evidence came up
insane.
linking Webb to the unsolved murder of his ex-girlfriend, Bria Runewitz. While incarcerated, Webb had bragged to a detective about murdering the 32-year-old. To escape the death penalty, Webb pleaded guilty and got an additional 50 years in prison. Now, if that wasn't enough...
No, that dude's crazy. That dude's actually crazy, bro. Jesus Christ.
Enough. 5 years later, another cold case came to haunt Webb. This time, he was charged with the murder of another ex-girlfriend, Sabrina Vaughn. This time, Webb appeared...
This is not the same guy, bro. This is not the same guy. I refuse to believe the same guy, bro. Bro has head tats. Bro, this guy's crazy. This guy's actually crazy.
In court with a sinister tattoo on his head. It had a murder...
Kill rats. Kill prosecutors, judges, cops, the media... Rat 1, Rat 2, Rat 3, and what the fuck?
Hit list of all the people he intended to kill, including all judges, all prosecutors, all cops, the media, 3 rats that had been crossed out, and many more.
So he's killed 3
Webb
people.
was convicted and sentenced to life in prison, with the possibility of parole after 25 years.
What?
Found the defendant guilty of the offense of intentional murder.
While Bass Webb's audacious acts in the courtroom shocked everyone,
That's insane.
How does it compare to elbowing your own lawyer? Like in the case of Joseph Zeeler, a double murder suspect in Cape Coral, Florida. Back in May 1990, 11-year-old Robin Cornell and her babysitter Lisa Story were found assaulted and murdered at their home. The gruesome scene was discovered by Robin's mom, Jan Cornell, who called 911. The case went cold for over 2 decades.
20
Zeeler
years?
was arrested in 2016 for shooting and injuring his son. His DNA was collected and entered into a database, which matched the DNA evidence from the 1990 crime scene.
Now, Joseph Zeeler was actually arrested for another crime.
So, like, imagine, bro, 20 years, he just, like, knows he did this shit. He just doesn't give a fuck, bro. That's insane. This is scary. I don't like this, bro. This is a weird watch.
And that's how detectives were able to get his fingerprints and DNA samples. His sample was put into a database called CODIS, and that database also stores unknown DNA samples, including those from the Cornell Story case. Now, when the system ran, that's when detectives got a hit linking Zeeler to this 26-year-old murder case.
Zeeler was further arrested and charged with capital murder. In court, prosecutors sought the death penalty.
The kind of factors which makes what the defendant did to Robin Cornell and Lisa Story so grave, so serious, that death is the appropriate recommendation, that death is the appropriate sentence.
Zeeler then took the stand.
Oh, we're watching Convicts attacking the judge in court.
And Jan.
Do you know Jan Cornell?
No, I don't know Jan Cornell.
That sounds like bullshit.
No.
Do you know Robin Cornell?
No.
but later said his DNA was at the crime scene because he and Jan were involved in intimate acts the night before the murders.
What the fuck? I don't even know what to say to that, bro.
And what I believe happened is I slept with Jan Cornell and Leanne Deller, and they were just too much of a pig not to wash their sheets.
He even called the victim's mother a pig.
Your DNA
That's
would have still
insane.
been there 5 months later.
Yes.
And that's
Yeah.
because they're pigs and they don't wash their sheets, right?
Exactly.
You know that?
Well, I assume that, just like you're assuming that
This is
But
such
just
a
so the
bad.
record's clear, when I said they're pigs and they wash their sheets, that's what you said.
Absolutely.
Zeeler then claimed that the prosecutor was framing him.
Well, the DNA witnesses, did you hear them say that they actually did retest NB32? That they actually took the sheet, recut another sample, and had another analyst do the same test?
That's
Did
crazy.
you hear that?
Yes.
So the retesting was done.
I believe FDLE is siding with the prosecution. Of course they're going to say that.
Eventually, the jury found Zeeler guilty of first-degree murder.
Verdict. We, the jury, find as follows as to count 1 of the charge. The defendant is guilty of first-degree murder of Robin Cornell. As follows as to count 2 of the charge. The defendant is guilty of first-degree murder of Lisa Story.
But what Zeeler did next left the whole courtroom stunned. At his sentencing, Zeeler appeared in handcuffs. First, he asked his attorney for a private discussion.
What's that?
As the attorney leaned in, Zeeler threw a cheap shot with his elbow. Thankfully, detectives quickly subdued him.
Oh, nah. Insane. Insane.
Meanwhile, the lawyer saw the funny side of the incident.
I used to box. I've taken a lot better shots than that.
After the dust settled, it was time for Zeeler to learn his fate.
Court's review of other capital cases has led the court to conclude that the death penalty would be a proportionate sentence in this case. Therefore, the court concludes that under the laws of the state of Florida, the defendant has forfeited his right to live.
He was sentenced to the death penalty.
Accordingly, it is ordered and adjudged that the defendant, Joseph Adam Zeeler, is hereby sentenced to death for the murder of Robin Cornell and the murder of Lisa Story.
While Joseph Zeeler's attack on his
That's
defense seemed
insane.
premeditated, how does it compare to punching someone out of the blue? Like in the case of Christopher Teal, who was in the King County courtroom facing sexual assault charges in Seattle, Washington.
Ooh, that sounded like that hurt.
Reports suggest that Teal, a homeless man, followed a woman inside a restroom at a Volkswagen dealership and assaulted her. Teal was charged with first-degree sexual assault and unlawful imprisonment. He appeared in court for a competency hearing represented by his lawyer, Reed Birkland. As the hearing began, Teal seemed amused and raised his arm towards Birkland before being stopped by a court officer.
Mr. Teal's present. He's in custody. He's represented by counsel, Mr. Birkland.
Then suddenly, without provocation, Teal snapped.
Standing from his counsel, who I'll defer to in a moment, that they are now stipulating that Mr.
Out of nowhere, Teal punched his own lawyer. Luckily,
Why?
the police
That's
quickly
insane.
managed to subdue him.
That's crazy.
Put your hands behind your back now.
A spit hood was placed over his head, and Teal was removed from the courtroom. Birkland was unhurt in the incident, barring his pride. He promptly withdrew from the case.
W.
Christopher Teal matter. No. Okay. I have a question though.
Hybrid's kinda tough.
Diminished capacity or insanity or anything of that nature.
I don't have anything to talk about.
The next time Teal appeared in
It's
court,
tough.
the officers ensured he wouldn't be punching anyone. Teal was seen heavily strapped to a chair. However, he still had one complaint. Teal's biggest concern was how his hair looked in his mugshot.
I'd like to know where the they got that photo of me with my short hair. Because that was on Facebook, and I don't have a Facebook.
What?
So you're on the legitimate question. Like, do they have have access to Google?
The judge scheduled another hearing in a week's time. Eventually, Teal was sentenced to 8.5 years in prison. While Teal's reaction could certainly be dismissed as a mental health issue, what happens when you get into a wrestling match with the judge? Like in the case of Sidney Newsom, who is facing a domestic violence charge in Pike County Justice Court in Mississippi. Southern District Judge Aubrey Rhymes was presiding over the hearing. Newsom initially seemed to be in a good mood as he reviewed some papers. But an altercation with a court officer seemed to agitate him. Newsom was then asked to sign some papers. Which the officer presented to Judge Rhymes. However, Newsom was not ready to rest his case. He furiously argued with Judge Rhymes.
I was about to ask, like, it looks like he doesn't have like handcuffs or anything on, but he does. So like, there's like 2 other convicts in the back, like they don't have handcuffs or anything. But apparently they do. Okay, my question's gone.
Rhymes promptly asked the officer to remove him from the court. As he was being led from the courtroom, Newsom lost it.
Oh, no, he's raging. Oh, nah.
First, he grabbed a stack of papers and threw it at Judge Rhymes. The officer tried to subdue him, but Newsom managed to overpower her.
Oh, nah. Oh, she's cooked, bro. Oh, my God.
He then threw a telephone at the judge.
Dude's raging. Why don't they tie their hands?
This is when the judge decided to take matters into his own hands.
Oh, just stay out business.
Newsom threw more paper at him. Judge Rhymes single-handedly pinned him to the table.
Imagine trying to crash out. She got cooked. Judge gets up, stands on business, pins him down. Oh my God.
Eventually, backup
It's over.
arrived.
Damn, that nigga's big.
Newsom was restrained and taken from the courtroom. He faced additional charges for contempt of court and served 48 hours in prison.
That's it?
Sidney Newsom's court antics were definitely crazy. But how does it compare to headbutting a police officer?
We're not even done?
Like in the case of Daniel Stewart Berry, who's facing robbery charges in Mississippi. Reports suggest that 21-year-old Daniel allegedly robbed a store where he leapt over the counter, put a female clerk in a headlock, and grabbed $20 from the open cash.
He jumped over the register, put her in a headlock for a $20 bill.
Register. Daniel, a business major
Just
student,
stupid.
was arrested and charged with 1 count of strong-armed robbery. But when Daniel was being taken to court, he totally lost it.
Oh no.
Daniel cursed and headbutted a sheriff's deputy, breaking his nose. He was quickly carried off and detained.
Sheriff still put him down too. It's the guy in the front. Damn.
The sheriff said Daniel was under the influence of drugs and had also assaulted a jail worker the previous night.
I don't know what this is or how much he's taken or whatever, but we'll have to get him evaluated by a doctor, but we've got to determine a safe way to do it for the doctor and for him and for us.
He faced additional charges of assaulting a law enforcement officer. His bond was set at $200,000.
Damn. Wow, wait, that wasn't bad. That was actually a W video, bro.